Take a breath with me for a moment, wherever you are. Whatever happened today, just let it all be here for now. What I want to talk about is very simple to say and almost impossible to truly understand at first. The split you feel between you in here and the world out there is not actually real. The observer and the observed are not two. And even more radical than that, the I you feel so strongly as yourself, the one you defend, protect, worry about, improve, compare, doesn't actually exist as a real entity. It is a story, a habit of thought, a kind of mirage. Since we were born, we've been surrounded by words. Parents, teachers, culture, school, social media, all of it has been telling us who we are. You are this body, this name, this nationality, this identity, this role. Over time, all those words build up into a powerful assumption. There is a solid me somewhere inside this body, looking out at a separate world, making decisions, controlling things, and being affected by everything. It feels completely obvious, but that doesn't make it true. Look at your experience honestly. Your body has changed since you were a child. Your opinions have changed. Your moods, your beliefs, your relationships, everything has changed many times. Thoughts come and go, emotions rise and fall, situations appear and disappear. Anything that appears and disappears cannot be absolutely real in itself. It's real as an appearance, but not as your deepest identity. Yet, there is something about you that does not change. Right now, sounds are present. Sensations in the body are present. Thoughts may be commenting on what I'm saying. All of that is changing moment by moment. But the fact that they are known, the simple, silent knowing of experience, does that change? The awareness that was there when you were 6, when you were 16, when you were 30, is fundamentally the same aware presence that is here now. Experiences change. The knowing of them does not. If you look closely, everything you call the world appears in that awareness. Sounds, sights, the feeling of the chair, the tension in your chest, the thought I don't get this, the thought this is interesting, they all show up in one seamless field of experiencing. You never actually step outside awareness to go meet the world. The world is always appearing in awareness. In that sense, observer and observed are not two separate things. They arise together as one movement in this open, aware presence. So where does this strong sense of I come from? On top of pure experiencing, a little thought appears, I. Then quickly, I am this body. I am this story. This is happening to me. That I thought sits in the middle of everything and claims ownership. My past, my future, my success, my failure, my spirituality, my problems. Almost every sentence in our mind starts with it. I feel, I think, I want, I hate, I love, I'm afraid, I'm not enough. But if you pay attention, that I is also something you see. It's another object in awareness. It's just a thought, wrapped in sensations and memories. It appears, stays for a moment, and disappears. What you truly are is not this flickering I thought, but the open awareness in which that I thought appears and disappears. Bluntly, the separate I you are convinced you are simply does not exist as an independent entity. It is an illusion. Very convincing, very sticky, but still an illusion. Now, I also want to be completely honest. You cannot genuinely get this in one video. Intellectually, yes, you can nod and think, okay, I understand. Awareness, non-duality, no self. But actually seeing through the illusion of the separate I is not a quick trick. It usually takes years, often a lifetime of careful contemplation, reading, practice, and above all, honest looking at your own experience. And even then, the illusion tends to dissolve only partially, and then return, and dissolve again in layers. This is not about being clever, it's about a very deep shift in how reality is perceived. So if any part of you is thinking, what is he talking about? This is crazy. That's completely okay. Honestly, from the usual point of view, these are crazy ideas. They go against almost everything we're taught about ourselves and the world. You might feel resistance, confusion, even anger. You might think, "Of course I exist. What do you mean there is no real I?" I understand that reaction. This is not a demand to believe anything. It's an invitation to look. One way to look is through a kind of quiet inner experiment. The next time you feel something intense, anxiety, anger, shame, pause for a moment. First, just feel the raw sensation in the body, tightness in the chest, heat in the face, pressure in the stomach. Then gently ask inside, "This is happening to who?" A thought will automatically answer, "To me." Don't stop there. Ask again, "Who exactly is this me? Where is it right now?" And look, honestly, you'll find sensations, images, stories, but no solid, independent owner of the experience. All you ever really find is awareness and appearances in awareness. That doesn't mean the pain or the emotion is fake. It just means the separate person you think you are, the observer supposedly standing apart from life and being attacked by it, that someone is not actually there in the way it seems. It is like mistaking a rope for a snake in dim light. The fear response is real, the heart pounds, the sweat is real, but the snake itself was never there. The mind misread the situation. In the same way, our suffering is real as an experience, but the separate me at the center of it is a misreading. At this point, it's important to say, this isn't about suddenly dropping all responsibilities or pretending nothing matters because everything is one. It's also not about blaming people for their sickness, trauma, or pain. This isn't a simplistic "your thoughts create everything" message. It's much deeper and more paradoxical than that. On the surface, life continues. Jobs, relationships, parenting, grief, joy. On a deeper level, as the sense of being a separate I gradually softens, all of this is seen as movements within a single field of awareness, not as threats to a fragile little self who has to control everything. Most of us spend our lives chasing happiness as this separate I. We collect experiences, relationships, degrees, titles, money, achievements, spiritual experiences. Every time we get what we wanted, there is a short moment of relief and happiness. But if you look closely, what really happened in that moment is that for a second, the I relaxed. The mind stopped chasing. The story paused. And in that pause, the natural peace of your true nature was revealed. Then the mind woke up again, claimed the experience, and said, "That happiness came from the thing I got. I need more." And the chase continues. What this non-dual perspective says is that peace you are always chasing out there is actually what you are already before every chase. It's the quiet background of awareness that never goes anywhere. The spiritual work, if we can even call it work, is mostly about noticing what is always already here and seeing through the stories that say you are something smaller, separate, and broken. I'm not presenting myself as someone who has perfectly dissolved the illusion of I and lives in permanent cosmic bliss. This channel is not about pretending to be a guru. It's about sharing these questions and insights honestly, knowing they are subtle, difficult, and often deeply unsettling. I fully expect some of you to think, "He's gone too far now, this is nuts." And that's okay. My invitation is not, "Believe me." My invitation is, take this as a pointer and look for yourself. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to adopt a new belief system. You don't have to reject your religion or your science or your everyday life. You can keep living exactly as you're living, and quietly, gently, begin to notice how every sound, every thought, every emotion, and even the sense of me appear in the same open awareness. You can begin to question, kindly but persistently, who is this I am constantly referring to? Is it really what I am? Or is it just another appearance inside something much vaster? If you stay with that question, not as an intellectual puzzle, but as a lived inquiry over years, with help from good books, teachers, practice, and your own honesty. The illusion of the separate I slowly begins to thin out. It doesn't necessarily vanish in one big explosion. More often it's like fog lifting, patches of clarity, then fog again, then clearer for a bit longer. And even partial glimpses change everything. They begin to loosen the fear, the constant pressure, the feeling of being a small self fighting against a huge world. In the end, what I'm pointing to is very simple. What you truly are is not the voice in your head saying I. It is the quiet, spacious awareness in which that voice arises. The observer you think you are and the world you think you're observing are two sides of one indivisible reality. There was never a real boundary between them. The I that seems to stand apart is a kind of optical illusion in consciousness. I know this is a lot. I know it can sound crazy. You don't need to swallow it in one piece. Just let it sit. Let it bother you a little if it does. Let it intrigue you if it does. And if something in you feels drawn to it, stay with that. You have all the time in the world to explore.